Good afternoon, Rochester Memorial students and families. Mr. Medeiros here with our first Medeiros Minute video of the 2020-2021 school year. Boys and girls, I want to start off by saying I hope everyone had a wonderful summer break. We certainly had some beautiful weather, so I hope you were able to get outdoors and explore and play and have adventure and really spend time with family and friends. I hope you all had a wonderful summer break. Boys and girls, we're very excited that our building is starting to show signs of life. Last week, we welcomed back all of our staff here at Rochester Memorial, and just hearing their laughter and smiles and seeing the building filling up with some people is really a great sight to see. And one of the things we're all talking about is how excited we are to welcome you all back next week. We're so happy to welcome our students back and know that you're going to bring a level of energy and excitement to our building that our building really needs, and we're really looking forward to that. So we're very, very excited to welcome you all back next week. With that being said, boys and girls, just to kind of give you a heads up of what this Medeiros Minute video will cover. So we will have some photos. We have a little PowerPoint to share with you of some photos of some of the signs you're going to see in the hallways, a couple of photos of what's new to added to our bathroom, and also what our cafeteria is looking like right now. The reason for these photos and this PowerPoint is to really help orient you or get you prepared for what the building is going to look like before you walk into school on the first day, either Wednesday of next week or Thursday of next week. We're also going to talk about masks and making sure that we have our masks on at all time and what that might look like, and obviously some safe ways to take our mask on and put our mask off. And we're going to be talking about backpacks, our devices that potentially are going to come your way, and then obviously lunch and recess as well. At the end of the Medeiros Minute, there will also be some informational content for parents and guardians, so please stay tuned for that. So boys and girls, let's get started. So first, let's start with our masks. We are asking that all students, Project Grow, all the way to 6th grade, have a mask. I want you boys and girls to get used to seeing Mr. Medeiros with his mask on, because obviously this is how you're going to see me on an everyday basis, and you're going to see all the adults in the building as well, like this with the mask. I know we're not used to seeing our staff members here at RMS with masks on, but I think it's important that we all know that mask wearing is one of the #1 priorities here at Rochester Memorial. We're also going to talk a little bit about distancing, but we'll talk about that when we get into our PowerPoint presentation as well. So boys and girls, having our mask on, it's very important, okay, that we make sure that we're not touching the front of our mask, as that is the area that is protecting us from any germs or anything like that. So if you need to take your mask on and off, you're doing so by taking the straps. Okay. One thing that's nice is you will have a lanyard that'll help hold your mask for you so that you don't have to take it off and put it on your desk. That lanyard will be there to hold your mask as you have a water break, or that you when you have a stack in the classroom, or obviously when we're having our lunch. So a couple things, boys and girls, I want you to remember: if you need to adjust your mask, you're grabbing it from the sides and you're making those adjustments. Remember that the appropriate way to wear our mask is to cover our nose and from under our chin. Our mask should not be worn like this, as it's exposing our nose, and it's not safe for us or for those around us. And we also should not be wearing our mask like this. We really want to make sure our mask is covering our entire face. Okay? Also, boys and girls, if you need to adjust, some masks have a metal bar or an area that you can help fit around your nose. If you need to make that adjustment, we're making sure we're doing that on the sides. Okay? As we're in our classroom, if it's we're having a snack in class or we need a water break, again, we'll have our lanyards that are holding our mask up, so we can take off both straps, and that lanyard will hold your mask up. If you do not have your lanyard, you forget it that day, we're simply just taking one side off and we're letting it hang down. We're going to have a sip of our water, or we're going to have a bite of our snack, and then we're going to put our mask back on. That is only for snack time and water breaks in the classroom. As far as lunch goes, we will be eating lunch in the cafeteria, and we'll talk about that a little later in the Medeiros Minute video. Boys and girls, if you have your mask and you're taking it on and off to have a water break, or something happens to it, whether it gets dirty or it breaks, our teachers will have disposable masks to swap out for you, so that we can always ensure that all of our students and staff have masks on at all times. I know there are a lot of different types of masks out there, and I'm sure you might have purchased some or help make some in your home to the style of your liking. And I know that there is a lot of discussion around gaiters. Unfortunately, boys and girls, Staff and students are not allowed to wear gaiters, as gaiters are, I know they're comfortable. They protect the wearer, but unfortunately they do not protect those around us. And the mask wearing is really to ensure your safety and all the adults' safety in the building as well. So unfortunately, we will not be able to have students or staff use gaiters, as again, gaiters protect the person wearing the gaiter, but they do not protect the folks around us. So no gaiters at this time. Boys and girls, I want to shift to backpacks. So backpacks are going to be very important for you this year, as they always are. We will not be using lockers. We will not be using cubbies. When you come into school in the morning, you will go right to your classroom. You'll sit at your desk, and your backpack will come off and either be next to you at your seat or next to your desk. Some desks have hooks. Your teachers might allow you to use those hooks. But really, your backpack is going to be the inside of your desk. We're not going to have students using the inside of the desk, as we will be sharing desks on a daily basis. So your backpack is really going to act as the inside of your desk. With that being said, we know we don't want to make our backpacks too full because we don't want that to be unsafe for you and too heavy. So your teachers will be working with you to take some things home that those materials will stay home and help you with your hybrid out instruction on those days that you are hybrid out. And then some things will come back and forth to school, but they know that some supplies they'll have in the classroom for you, and some supplies they're going to send home right away with you that stays home, so that the backpack really isn't too full, too heavy, so that we're not making an unsafe situation for any of you. One of the very important things that's going to be in that backpack every day that needs to come to school when you are hybrid in is your Chromebook or your device. Boys and girls, you will be getting, students in grades 2 through 6 will be getting a Chromebook. Pickup for that will be this Friday, and parents and guardians, more information on that at the end of this Medeiros Minute, so please stay tuned. But boys and girls, in grades 2 through 6, when you get that Chromebook, you need to make sure that that comes to and from school, just like you bring pencils, notebooks, and things of that nature that you need. That is your tool to learn, so you got to make sure that you have that with you. One of the things we have to make sure that you bring with you is the power cord that goes with that Chromebook. We know that you're going to charge your Chromebook every evening before you go to bed, but when you bring it to school, you need to make sure you bring the power cord as well, so that as you're using it throughout the day, if the battery life does not last, we're going to have opportunities and power stations for you to plug those Chromebooks in while you're here on your hybrid in days. So boys and girls, please make sure you bring those cords. Very, very important. At this time, boys and girls, I am going to share my screen, and we're going to show you the PowerPoint with the photos of the different aspects of the building that we want to show you, so that you can be prepared when you walk into school on the first day. So here we go, Rochester Memorial Student Building Orientation Part 1. This is Part 1. As I mentioned, we'll talk about hallways, cafeteria, bathrooms. Part 2 will show you the recess grounds and other aspects of the building that we don't cover here in Part 1. So here we go, boys and girls. So hallway signs. As you come into school, you're going to notice on the floor one-way signs that tell us what direction we need you to go in order to maintain distance and be safe. As we've talked about before, these signs are going to help us. We are going to be one way to the right. So always lining up to the right of the hallway and making sure that you're following those one-way signs. If you forget, they're there for you as a visual to help you. So always one way to the right. The other thing you're going to see on the floor in the hallway are these stay safe 6 feet apart signs. Just reminders that we should always be socially distant and stay 6 feet apart. For many of you, that could be just taking your arms and spreading them out. Some of our students are very tall, and that will help with the distancing. For others, it's just simply looking down and counting the floor tiles. A nice little math lesson here, where we can use those tiles, which we know are 1 foot wide, and we can count 6, and we know that we're 6 feet apart. All the staff and adults here in the building are going to be assisting you with that, and they'll know that if they see a couple students getting too close, they can help and assist and send a reminder that we want to be socially distant. The next sign, boys and girls, you will see again is a notice, please wear your face mask. So at all times when we're traveling through the building or we're in our class, unless we're having a fresh air break or we're having lunch, our masks need to be on. And these you'll see these signs throughout the building to help remind you of that. One of the new features, boys and girls, to help us this year is our bathrooms. So as you'll notice when you go into your student bathrooms in all the different wings of the building, you'll see paper towel dispensers that have recently been installed. I want to take this time to thank Mr. Willett and his custodial team for all of their great work. Our building looks beautiful. It's shiny as always, nice and clean, and they did a fabulous job preparing our classrooms and spacing out desks and installing things like these paper towel dispensers to ensure everyone's safe. Boys and girls, as you can see, one of them is right over one of our hand dryers. Those hand dryers will not be working. The power to those hand dryers have been shut off, so if you do put your hands underneath, they will not come on because the expectation is that you wash your hand for 20 seconds, and you'll see those signs. There are signs to remind you to wash your hands for 20 seconds, and then the paper towel dispensers are there to help you dry your hands. Boys and girls, this is very important. You need to make sure that we're disposing of those paper towels in the rubbish bin that you see there on that photo. Those cannot go in and be flushed down the toilet. They must go in the trash receptacle bin that all bathrooms have at this point. Remember, boys and girls, we are taking care of our environment, as we talk about all the time. One of our school rules: take care of ourselves, take care of others, take care of our school environment. We're going to ask that you are responsible decision makers and that you demonstrate self-control in making sure that those paper towels get disposed of properly. One of the biggest shifts for all of us is the cafeteria. As we see here, the cafeteria has 50 desks spaced out. Again, I want to thank Mr. Willett and his custodial team. 50 desks spaced out at a little over 6 feet apart. This is where we're going to have lunch each day. So once again, we're taking our mask, we're dropping it down. The lanyard that is attached to our mask will hold the mask up for us, so we don't have to worry about taking the mask off and putting it on the desk and it dropping onto the floor or getting dirty. The lanyard will hold our mask up while we eat our lunch. Boys and girls, you will be seated at those tables each time, the entire lunch shift. And then if something needs to be disposed of, myself, Mr. West, or one of the lunch and recess staff members will be around with a barrel to help you either throw out rubbish that you have or open something that you might need assistance in opening. So all 3 lunch shifts will continue. We'll still have our first lunch shift of grade 5 and 6. Second lunch shift, grade 3 and 4, and then last lunch shift, K1 and 2. The only difference to our school day is, for example, on that first lunch shift, grade 5 may be outside at recess first, while grade 6 is in the cafeteria eating lunch, and then those 2 grade levels after the 20-minute time frame will switch. Grade 5 will come in for their lunch, and grade 6 will go outside. But as far as timing, your lunch and recess shifts are going to stay the same. And a reminder, the next Medeiros Minute video, hopefully at the end of this week or the beginning of next week, will show what those recess grounds will look like. Last piece to ensuring all our safety, boys and girls, is hand washing. Mrs. Murphy has shared this hand washing video with us, so we will attempt to play this so that you can see how important it is to ensure we're washing our hands.
What you need to know about hand washing. Why should I use soap and water to wash my hands? Germs can get on your hands and items you touch throughout the day. When your hands might be dirty, it's best to wash with soap and water to remove whatever germs and chemicals are on them. Warm or cold water, either is fine, as long as it's clean. Bar soap or liquid, either is fine. Does the soap have to be antibacterial to work? No, plain soap and water work just as well. What if I don't have soap, but I have access to water? Using soap to wash hands is more effective than using water alone. But if water is all you have, rub your hands together under it and wipe off with a clean towel or air dry. When hands aren't visibly dirty, you can use an alcohol-based hand sanitizer that contains at least 60% alcohol. How long do I need to scrub when washing my hands? Scrubbing your hands for at least 20 seconds is most effective. Do I have to clean under my fingernails? Yes. Germs like to hide under fingernails. Make sure to clean there too. Towel or air dry, either is fine, but if you're using a towel, make sure it's clean. Should I use a paper towel to turn off the faucet or open the door of a public bathroom? There isn't much scientific evidence about this. If you're concerned about getting germs on your hands after you wash them, you can use a paper towel to turn off the faucet or open door handles. What if I don't have soap or water to wash my hands? If soap and water aren't available, use an alcohol-based hand sanitizer that contains at least 60% alcohol. Alcohol-based hand sanitizers can quickly kill most types of germs on the hands, but may not kill certain bacteria and viruses that cause diarrhea. You should wash your hands before eating or after using the restroom. Protect yourself and others by washing your hands with soap and water. Learn more about the magic of hand washing. Visit cdc.gov/handwashing.
Excellent. So I want to thank Mrs. Murphy for her work on finding that video for us. All the staff did get to watch that video, and we will certainly be showing videos like that throughout the school year at our morning meeting times and things of that nature. It's very important, boys and girls, that one of the biggest things for us is always modeling and being ready as a classroom community to come together and make sure we're always being safe and following these protocols of mask wearing, distancing, and hand washing. So again, we're not going to have opportunities for all school meetings, but we certainly will find ways either as a staff or even get some students involved to create videos that your teachers can share with you at morning meeting time or closing circle time to really model and be able to demonstrate what the expectations are to ensure that we're all safe. So boys and girls, as I mentioned, I hope you found those pictures of our hallways and bathrooms and cafeteria helpful. And like I said, the next Medeiros Minute video will cover specialists, lunch and recess time, and fresh air breaks throughout our school day and what that's going to look like on our campus. At this time, parents and guardians, this information will be more geared towards all of you. So first, I want to say that we will have a virtual open house, as we typically do on the evening of the first day of school. So September 16th, 2020, 6 to 7 p.m., there will be a virtual open house. I will send out a link to the general start of open house, which will be an informational session with Mr. West, Mrs. Murphy, and myself. We'll go over bullying language, health and safety language. Mrs. Murphy will be discussing that in a presentation that she has. And then we will release all parents and guardians to specific grade level or team virtual open house meetings. Those virtual Zoom links will come from grade level teams or classroom teachers, and those will be experiences for you to actually see visuals of what the classroom is going to look like and hear from the teachers or team of teachers on what the day will look like on a hybrid in and hybrid out experience for your child. A reminder that open house, as we do every year, is not a time for parent-teacher conference. That is a time that we have scheduled later in October once our teachers get to know your students and get to work with them. So will just be a virtual open house to, again, orient yourself, but also your child and your student with what school is going to look like here for our new school year. As you all received the email from our new Assistant Superintendent, Mr. Barber, Finance and Operations, Chromebook pickup will be this Friday. A little adjustment to that. I know it said main entrance. I just want everybody to know that's our main parent drop-off and pickup entrance. So that really means the back of the building. As you come in, if we could please follow the same traffic pattern we did when we picked up our student belongings, we're going to head right down all the way to the soccer field. We're going to turn right, and we're going to come up the driveway so the building is on our left. You'll see staff out there with carts. There'll be a waiver to sign, and then you will be able to take that device home. Students in K and in first grade, your devices are coming. They were ordered, but obviously, as many school districts across the Commonwealth have purchased devices, those are to be coming our way, hopefully, at some point in October. If you have issues or concerns with the device, if you are a parent or guardian of a student in K and 1, please reach out to myself and Mr. West, and we'll be more than happy to help. Another piece, parents and guardians in pre-K to grade 2, if you do not have a Gmail account, if you could sign up for one, that will assist in ensuring that you have access and can get all the information of the Google Classrooms. So all of our grade level teams and individual teachers will be using Google Classroom as a learning management platform. So if you do not have a Gmail account, you will need one, especially in those lower grades, to help your child access the Google Classroom platform. Our teachers are asking if you could do that as soon as possible. As I know, on Monday, they're all hoping to send out an email either by as a grade level team or individually as teachers to you as parents and guardians to that Gmail account so that you can access their classroom, Google Classroom, and start receiving those notifications on those platforms. I know that it's been certainly a different summer, a unique summer than we're all used to, but I know that and feel confident that the staff is prepared and they continue to prepare themselves over these first 10 days of professional development and workshops and really planning as a team. And I'm very proud of all the work that our school district has done in collaboration with our school committee and other stakeholders to ensure that we've provided a safe environment for our students and one that I know will continue to offer them the best educational experience in midst of what we're all going through here in this pandemic. I appreciate all your patience, and I know we have a question and answer session scheduled for tomorrow evening, so I look forward to seeing those of you who show up to that. And again, boys and girls, please be on the lookout for a second Medeiros Minute video soon, potentially at the end of this week, if not beginning of next week, for sure. Have a good evening, everyone.